Hey guys, Neely here. I am driving with my two littles in the back. You can see little Renee kicking around back there. And Ruthie is right there. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi. And we're just running a few errands this morning. And I just wanted to pop on because I just finished listening to an excellent podcast and I wanted to pass it on to you guys and recommend it to you. One of my favorite podcasts is Natural MD Radio with Aviva Romm. She is a medical doctor as well as a herbalist and a midwife, and she's got really great information about taking care of kids naturally and just all things like women's health and kids' health and all kinds of natural stuff. But she also is, I think she went to Yale or Harvard, so she's not just a naturopath, but she's also a MD as well. So that's always good to have all the information. Anyways, she just today, the new podcast that popped into my feed was with Dr. Christianson, who is the author of the Adrenal Reset Diet that I just told you about, that I am in the middle of reading and getting a lot of great information from. And the podcast that they did, the topic of the podcast was all about carbohydrates. And I mentioned in my other video talking about the Adrenal Reset Diet about how Dr. Christianson kind of explained what went on in my body when I did like nutritional ketosis diet, where my blood sugars initially dropped and were in a really good range, and then after a while on very low carb, my blood sugar started kind of going out of whack, and they're really hard to control and way high. And then once I added carbs back in through doing the THM diet, and once my body got regulated again with the carbs, it took a while. Once my body got used to eating carbs again, my blood sugars now are very consistently lower than they were on the low carb diet, which is totally counterintuitive. You would think that if you eat lower amounts of carbs that turn into sugars, that automatically your blood sugar is going to be lower. But what Aviva and Dr. Allen talked about on the podcast is that your body has all kinds of internal regulation mechanisms, and basically if you don't feed your body carbohydrates, your body will produce them, or will produce glucose in the liver to keep your blood sugar stable. And it's kind of like when you don't feed your body enough of the carbohydrates that it needs to keep your blood sugar stable, it overcompensates, and it sends your body into a stress response. And so your body starts pumping out more glucose from the liver. And so that's why your blood sugar can be higher on a low carb diet than it is when you're actually eating a sufficient amount of carbs. And obviously too much carbs is going to give you high blood sugar as well. So he's very moderate carb. He's not a, free for all, eat all the carbs out there for sure. It's still a fairly lower to moderate carb than a lot of diets out there. I definitely wouldn't call it high carb. But anyways, they explained it a whole lot better than I just did. But I really want to encourage you guys, if you are interested in learning about carbs, and if you've been on low carb diets and had issues, this might help explain why that happens. And then of course, everybody's different. So I know that there are people who can be on low carb diets and keto diets and their blood sugar handles it just fine. And that's what is good for their body. So I definitely, if you're doing well on a low carb diet and everything is going great and you're seeing good health benefits, of course, don't change anything. But if you are having issues, or if you just want the information so that you can keep an eye out for these issues that might crop up, later on. Because like when I went on low carb initially, it was great for my blood sugar and I saw all kinds of great benefits. And it wasn't until a few months in that I started having problems. So anyways, I will put the link down below to this podcast, and I encourage you to check it out if you're interested in that kind of information. And Aviva Romm's podcast is excellent. All of hers, for the most part, that I've listened to, she just has all kinds of great information, and I really love her balanced approach. It's not, 100% all herbs all the time. She's definitely uses the best of both worlds, whether it be conventional or naturopathic or whatever. So yeah, it's a really good podcast. I will put the link down below to that. And yeah, just wanted to pass that on. I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye, guys.